Then I think finally here also.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about this disgusting video of the Dalai Lama and an underage boy. Now, I did not want to do this video at all. I wanted to bypass it. I wanted to ignore it, but a lot of you guys are asking me about it. Say, hey man, did you see what happened with the Dalai Lama and a little boy? I'm getting Facebook comments, emails, text messages. I'm getting all kind of stuff about this video. So here I am covering it. If you want to see that full video from beginning to end without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. But please be warned, it is disturbing. It is uncomfortable to say the least. Now, I'm going to play a censored version of this right here, just for context purposes and to give a little bit of context about what's happening right here at the very beginning of the clip. There's an audience of people that are at this event, okay? Dalai Lama has guys behind him, and then there are people in front of him. I guess there's parents, children, a little bit of everybody watching this event. Now, the little boy comes up to the front and asks, can he hug a Dalai Lama? There's some discussion between Dalai Lama and the handlers, and they finally say yes. So he comes up on the stage, he gives him a hug, and then the Lama asks for a kiss on the cheek. And then things go way downhill very quickly. So you see what's going on here. Hug and kiss on the cheek.
Then I think finally
And then
here also.
he's like, hey, give me a kiss right here on my lips. Now, there was a peck on the lips, a kiss. I'm going to skip past that. And then we're going to pick up a little bit later in the interaction. And the boy's like, I guess, on his lap. This whole thing is totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. People in the audience are laughing and cheering. This is totally inappropriate. This is abuse. When you're talking about even a politician, when they say shake hands and kiss babies, you don't kiss babies in their mouth, on the lips or anything like that. Maybe on the cheek or on the forehead or something. You don't have some 8-year-old boy on your lap kissing them on the lips. That doesn't happen. Okay. Now it continues and it gets worse. Now, this moment right here was very awkward. He's just kind of like staring at him. I don't even understand what's going on.
And suck my tongue.
Then he says, suck my tongue. Now, the little boy doesn't quite do that. He kind of like gets very close to him and doesn't do that. But we came in right there. I mean, really, I didn't even want to do this video, honestly, but I had to just put it out there. And of course, the little boy is censored. You're talking about a minder. We're not going to have kids in the video. That's not what we're going to do. But this whole thing is really crazy. Now, there was all kind of reaction to this. He apologized for that whole thing. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But some are trying to defend those actions, saying, hey, you know what? That's Tibetan culture. You sit the tongue out when you're just greeting somebody. Now, I have a video of that going on right here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna turn the sound off. You don't really need the sound. Okay. This is a movie, I suppose, 7 Years in Tibet. Now, you see what they're doing? They're sticking the tongue out when people are coming up to them. When there's a newcomer, a visitor, whatever it is, they stick the tongue out as a greeting. That does not mean that you're going to ask a little boy to suck your tongue. That, what's going on right here and what this guy did right here are totally different, not the same at all. So those that are trying to say, oh, well, ABO, you're just doing too much, man. It's Tibetan culture. Please stop. This little boy is being abused by this man, and it's not even uncommon. You know what? I'm gonna talk about how it's not uncommon in a minute. Y'all please give me a moment. It's very hard for me to do. Now, here's the apology. I'm going to read the apology. Then we're going to get to why it's not very uncommon. So here is the apology on the screen. I'll read it for you right quick as well. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when the young boy asked His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, if he could give him a hug. His Holiness wishes to apologize to the boy and his family, as well as many friends across the world, for the hurt his words may have caused. His Holiness often teases people he meets in an innocent and playful way, even in public before cameras. He regrets the incident. What are you apologizing for? If you didn't do anything wrong, teasing people in an innocent and playful way, what does that got to do with kissing a little boy in the mouth and asking the little boy to suck your tongue? What's that got to do with being innocent and playful, huh? I mean, that's just beyond ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. Boy, oh boy. But you know what? It's not even uncommon, unfortunately. Let's talk about monks and priests and guys like this that are expected to not have wives and kids and be celibate or whatever, but then they abuse young boys, which is a pattern. We all know it's a pattern. Okay. Before we get to the Catholic priests, let's talk about the monks. Now, you may or may not know, a Dalai Lama is a title. The guy that's the current Dalai Lama is a 14th. I think they first started with these guys back in the 16th century. If that's wrong, let me know in the comments below. But you're talking about Buddhism, you're talking about monks. These guys are expected to not have any women. It's like when they say when you go monk mode, you just shut off all the women, no dating, you just focus on yourself, right? And these boys, young men and boys, get sent to the monastery, sent to the temple at a young age. So here's a question I got for you guys, and just wonder, just kind of put two and two together. You got a bunch of these young men that are right of age to be having a wife, children, family, late teens, early 20s or whatever, even earlier. And then there's a bunch of young boys that come in and you say that there's no women that are going to be involved. You can't have any relations, no family. What's going to happen? The boys are going to get abused. It's just like going to prison. Not saying that it's okay, not saying that it's right, not saying that it's justified at all. You're going to have victims in that kind of environment. That's what's going on. I would not be surprised if that had been happening with Dalai Lama for a very long time, abusing young boys, going all the way back to when he was exiled from Tibet, which is current day China, to India, where he still is today. He was exiled back in the 50s. Is it because he was trying to stop the Chinese control, or was it something else? Or is it just part of their culture where they do things like this, which is why he felt so comfortable doing it right in front of the cameras? What is the other explanation you have when you know it's cameras there, you know it's an event, you have an audience of people, you're not by yourself, and you ask a little boy to suck your tongue? What are we doing? Same thing, Catholic priests. Okay, Catholic priests. There was an incident recently. Hundreds boys were abused, and it was covered up. Yeah, Baltimore. I saw it yesterday. Matter of fact, hold on. Here it is. Baltimore Catholic clergy abused hundreds of children and teens. Attorney General says a nearly 500-page investigation released by the Maryland Attorney General detailed the enormous scope and scale of the scandal. Okay, you could see this type of thing happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not trying to say all Catholics do this. I'm not trying to say that abuse is just part of the Catholic Church, but how many crimes like this must we see before we see a pattern? When you say that the priests can't have wives or children, they got to be celibate, you're going to attract these men, these sick individuals that are going to abuse the young boys and girls, but usually the young boys. It's a pattern. Go to Afghanistan, same thing. Oh, okay, you can't have women over here, but you can abuse the young boys. These dancing boys, it's the same pattern. It doesn't matter if it's Buddhism, Christianity, Islam. When you don't have the women there and the men are supposed to be celibate, all this and that, you're going to attract men that are going to abuse boys. We've seen it time and time again. There's no denying it, which is exactly why now in Catholicism, they're trying to say you can have a wife and kids. There's no problem. Now, is it because we're just living in modern times? You're having a hard time recruiting. It's not enough priests that are going to, it's not enough guys that are going to become priests? Or are you trying to stop all the abuse of the young boys? I mean, at a certain point, it's been going on for years and years and years now. You would think they would do a thing to stop it. Or maybe they don't really care and they just turn a blind eye to the whole situation. I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with the Dalai Lama? You think that this is just, it's overblown, ABO, it's not really a big deal? Or was it a clear case of abuse caught live on camera. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This video really kind of, it really irritated me. It's kind of emotional, be totally honest with you. I didn't want to do it, but you know, I got to put the news out there, let you guys know what's happening. And also to let you know that this is not just a thing with Buddhism or Dalai Lama or Catholic priests. It's all over the Islam, Christianity, all these religions where the men are expected to not have, to be normal, to have wives and children, to be heterosexual. When that's going on, you're going to attract guys that are deviant, divergent, and you're going to have a wide scale abuse of children. It's very simple. Again, this is why the Catholic Church is trying to go back. They're trying to repeal that whole thing about the priests not being able to have wives and kids. Not all, but too many. And it's become a pattern that's too obvious to ignore. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.